Hi, I'm Stephanie from Jolly Scrumptious Cupcakes and I'm here as a guest tutor at Witty Cakes, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little fish. He would work well as a cupcake topper or as part of a bigger under the sea themed cake. So start with his round body. I've got some sugar paste here that I've coloured up with sugar flared daffodils. So it's really nice bright yellow, and I've got about 35 grams here to make this size fish. So I'm just going to start with rolling this into a ball. So when you've got a nice smooth ball shape, just pop him on your board. So we're going to get a little flat base there. It makes it easier to stick onto a cupcake top or onto a cake. So start here with his smile. So I'm just going to use the smile tool just to give him a grin. So pop that in the middle there. And we can use this little ball tool here to add some dimples at the side there. So for his lovely big eyes here, I'm going to start with some white paste and roll this out. And I'm going to use this 1.5 centimetre circle cutter. So cut 2 of those out. And then I've used some blue for the next bit, so nice pale blue here. And for that I've got a centimetre circle cutter. So cut those 2 out. So I'm going to stick those to these white bits. I'm going to put them right in the centre here, so you can see his eyes are more in the middle of his face. So pop the blue ones actually stuck there, so let's turn that around. Just push that down with your finger and then pop this one on. So with some black, just roll that out. And I've got a little 1/2 centimetre circle cutter. So I'll do 2 of those and then pop those on the eyes there, again just into the centre. And then to finish these little eyes off, I need to take a tiny, small bit of white, and I'm just using a piping nozzle here, this tip, just anything that's smaller than that black bit you just stuck on. So just cut 2 of these out, and I'm going to stick these just at the top here, just where it's sort of just starting to go onto the blue, so mainly on the back black, but just slightly overlapping onto the blue. So just pop those on there. So I'm putting those on the same size. I've put this more to the centre, so this eye is going to go to the side there. And then just to complete those, I'm just going to add in on these little nonpareils to each eye. So just below where we've popped that white dot, I'm going to stick one of these in. Okay, so I want to pop these on our fish just above the corner mouth here, not quite close, not right next to each other, but fairly close together, and just above the mouth here, so you can have a little look at your fish and just use your ball tool. Don't push right in, but just to make a mark of where you want them to go, just so they are level and even. You pop some glue on there. Just make sure they're level and they look all right on him. Then we can move on to his fins and tail. So taking some of the yellow, just going to roll this out, not too thin because we're going to pop some dried spaghetti in that just to hold these on. And I'm using a 3 centimetre circle cutter. So I'm going to cut that out, cut that in half. One half we don't need, and then cut that half in half again. And I'm just going to take this point off here so we've got a nice flat bit to go against our fish. So you can just use your finger just to soften those corners. And then the other end of the blade tool here, it's quite a good tool to add some marks onto fins and tails. So you can just either push that in or just bring that down like that, and you can just add some little marks to them. So once you've made those, we can add them to our fish, and we're going to pop some spaghetti in there. So just dip the end of that in the glue and push that carefully into your little fin, just as far as it will go. Just going to break that off there. Then do the same with this one. And then we want to stick those in to the side. So I'm going to make a hole with the spaghetti before we push them in, otherwise you could end up pushing these, putting too much pressure on them and the spaghetti pokes through the other side. So just make a mark just at the side there. Then have a look, your fish, just match up where that needs to go this side. Just put some glue in and around that hole. And then we can add our little fins. Okay, like that. And then the one at the top here, just get a bit more paste. And you want to keep this quite thick so that it stands up. If it's too thin, it will flop to the side. So just roll that out. And I'm using a 4 centimetre circle cutter for this. So cut that out and cut that in half, and then cut this one in half again. And then you're going to use your fingers just to shape this. So we want to keep this nice curve here, but pull this corner out so that that kind of flicks up. And you want to put a little indentation in the back here. So just keep pulling that out. So that's the kind of shape you want, and just pull that corner thinner to a point. And once you're doing that, you're going to push in this back bit anyway. So when you've got it to a nice shape, pop some glue on that edge there, and then we're going to stick that on the top. And you can just reshape this, make sure that's stuck down there. And then we just need to add this little tail on the back here. So taking our yellow, roll this out. Again, I'm using a 4 centimetre circle cutter. So just take off a little bit at the back here. And then I'm just going to use this 1 centimetre, 1.5 centimetre cutter just to take out a little piece at the back so that you've got this shape. And then you need to use your fingers just to pull that out again. So like we did with the top one, I'm going to pull this corner up here. Start to shape that and do the same with this one. So make sure you've got that little dip in there. just pull that corner out. Just going to flatten that a little bit. You don't want it to be too much of a point. It's still got to be quite flat there. So if it's gone too pointed, I'm just going to cut that little bit off there. So just keep shaping that with your fingers. You just want to make sure that it's got just a nice point and just sort of looks like it's sort of floating out the back. So just use your fingers to make that shape. And just hold it up against your fish, just check for size. So there's a little bit too much space here, so I'm just going to use that cutter just to take off a bit at the top there. Depends how much you've stretched it, if it's gone a bit too long. So when you've got that sort of shape, you see you've got a nice indentation there and then the tail's flowing out. We can add some little lines to this, so just going to go from the centre, you can make a little mark there and just bring these lines out. Okay, just so you add those on there, and you do the same the other side. Okay, so once you've done that, we need to pop some spaghetti in that again. So pop that in your glue and just carefully push that all the way through as far as you can go without it popping out the back there. Break that off and then turn that around. Use the spaghetti to make a hole in the back. Pop some glue on there and just around that hole. And then push that tail in there. And you just want to make sure that tail's not going to fall like that. If you put it upright, then it will hold there, and you can just leave that to dry. So just move that onto a blue board or drying tray. Set that tail to how you want it, and then that spaghetti will hold that in place. Once that's dry, that's not going to move. And just leave him to dry overnight really before you start adding him to either your cupcake topper or to a main cake.